So we have just seen the Tesla shareholder meeting, and let's have a look at the newest Optimus updates.
So it's pretty wild to just be in Palo Alto with a bunch of cubes, and then a humanoid robot just walks past. We've made a massive amount of progress with Optimus in a short period of time, from someone pretending to be a robot dancing in a suit, to a pretty hodgepodgey robot, to a robot that is actually doing useful tasks in the factory today. So we have 2 Optimus robots in our Fremont factory that are doing basically this task, which is taking cells off the end of the line and placing them in a shipping container. And yeah, we actually have quite a few of these cruising around our offices in Palo Alto. So there's, and I think we've got kind of like one major hardware revision, which should be done by end of this year or early next, before, and then we'll move into a limited production next year of Optimus. Limited production for use in our factories, where we'll test out the product, kind of, as I say, sort of eat our own dog food or whatever the electronic equivalent of that is. But I think like next year, my prediction is next year we'll have over 1,000, maybe a few thousand Optimus robots working at Tesla. And things are going to scale up very rapidly from there.
So okay, I think this is a great point to analyze where will it scale, right? Where will it scale up to? What is Elon thinking about the future of Optimus bots? Because there will be some kind of future of Optimus bot, right? They're already producing it, they're scaling it up, they're using it, people are interested. Other companies like Jensen Huang already start competing, like Nvidia with Jensen Huang already start competing with Tesla. So there will be future, there will be some kind of future. So we as investors need to check out, like for instance, different models, what will be the profit from humanoid robots. And I think a good way to start is with Elon's napkin math, right? So what is like the target of this? What will be the target of the actually the CEO of the company producing the leading company in humanoid robotics? And he actually, in the shareholder meeting, he gave an explanation what he thinks will be the total addressable market. And let's go to the position. Let's have a quick look what he actually is believing. It's like at 53 here.
The Optimus robot, which is really a humanoid robot that is intended to be able to do anything you want it to do, to be your companion. It can be at your house. It can sort of babysit your kids. It could teach them. It could be a teacher. It can do factory stuff. I think that the ultimate ratio of, say, how many super useful humanoid helper droids do you want? Like, who doesn't want a C-3PO? But a C-3PO plus R2-D2 plus plus. It would be pretty awesome. I think everyone in the world is going to want one, like literally everyone. And then there will be obviously robots in industry making stuff, and so I think the ratio of humanoid robots to humans will probably be at least 2 to 1, something like that. 1 to 1 for sure. So which means like somewhere on the order of 10 billion humanoid robots, maybe 20 or 30, and so then it's like, okay, well, let's say you kind of make, let's say the build rate is, I think the build rate will be probably something ultimately like 1 billion a year, humanoid robots. Like actually. And if Tesla just has a 10% share of that, and it might be a lot more than 10%, and there's, you know, we make like 100 million Optimus units a year. I mean, for reference, the auto industry is roughly 100 million vehicles per year. So that, you know, sort of similar ballpark, at least within an order of magnitude. And I think we could make one for a cost of maybe, at really high scale, of about $10,000. It's smaller, it'll be less expensive than a car. So, and I think if you sell for $20,000 or something, this is at large scale volume, Tesla would basically make about $1 trillion of profit a year from that. So, yeah. If the price earnings multiple is, say, I don't know, 20 or 25, something like that, that would mean a $20 trillion market cap from Optimus alone. And probably 5 to 10 from autonomous.
Good. So now we have seen the math, Elon's napkin math, and interestingly, so here you can read it again. So we have we make 100 million Optimus a year if they have only a 10% market share in the Optimus. In the humanoid robots market, and they assume that they sell it for 20K, produce it at 10K, so they make 10K profit per sold unit, and which was like if you multiply 10K with 100 million, you get to $1 trillion a year in profit, and if you slap a price earning multiple of 20 to it, you'll get like a $20 trillion market cap. For reference, Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft currently have a $3 trillion market cap. Of course, those market cap will also grow in the future, but so let's see who will be the biggest, right? But I think it's a reasonable prediction of the future, and there's no time associated, right? It's not like he didn't say when this will happen. He just said this will happen. This is the likely outcome of the future. And interestingly, this was a video from my channel. I called it "The Economics of $1 Trillion Profit, $1 trillion profit companies." I released this video 2.5 weeks ago or so, and this slide is the exact slide from the video, where I said I had exactly the same math, right? Exactly the same. It's like I didn't assume 100K profit per unit or so, or annual profit or anything that other people assume in the Tesla industry. I never assumed this. I never thought this will be realistic, right? To have a Tesla bot, even though the economic value might be large, but having 100K per year profit per Tesla or so, I never thought this would be reasonable. And Elon said from the beginning that we will have a 20K profit or so. So I always ran with 10K, 20K selling the humanoid for 20K per piece, and then having not a subscription or anything on top of it. So I always assumed a $1,000 to $10,000 profit per unit to be more on the conservative side. So, and here in this scenario, this exact slide, this was my slide. I predicted 100 million humanoids, $10,000 profit per unit. This is units sold in a given year, and a total profit of $1 trillion. Of course, I used Elon's previous statement on the topic that haven't really changed a lot. So it is not my contribution, but I just wanted to say, okay, if you want to check out this video as well, then go to the Thinkster channel. I will also give a link in the description below. And the theory is that not only Tesla, but many other companies, in my opinion, will make $1 trillion profit in the not so distant future. Okay, so now just for fun, I did a valuation model. Tesla is currently at, so I just used Elon's numbers, and we have these basically, we have 3 variables, right? The first variable is the units sold, and it will be variable, right? Because we could, if in the future where we have 10 billion robots deployed or 20 billion robots deployed, we might sell a lot more than 100 million humanoids per year. We will, right? Because the lifetime of such a bot would be maybe 5 years or 3 years or so, right? Like a smartphone. So, so if you have, say, 10 billion humanoids deployed, we would have to sell 3 billion. So the total addressable market would be 3 billion units per year, selling 3 billion units a year if you have a lifetime of 3 years per bot. And after 3 years, probably like the hardware would be stale and something, right? So probably we would, maybe it could last longer. It also depends what you're doing with the bot, but just let's go for 3 years, right, or 4 years or so. And if this is the case, and we have like 10 billion humanoids, really, or maybe even 20 billion humanoids, right, you see the unit sold variable changes drastically. Like 100 million is like more on the low end of the units sold in this future, and the profit per unit would be 10k, it could be less, it could be 5k, it could be more, 15k, right? Some people assume it is drastically more, like 100k or so. I don't think this is reasonable, but so my upper bound like profit per unit would be 15k if they have some kind of subscription system or they can really monetize it really well. But at that scale, I don't think even it will be realistic to assume like 20k or so profit per unit. So we can vary this variable as well. And then of course we can vary the PE ratio, because the PE ratio, it's like if a company makes 1 trillion in profit, the market cap of this company could be 20 times the profit, right? Or it could be 30 times the profit or 50 times the profit. It really depends on how fast the company is growing. For instance, like the tech companies usually have multiple, so if they grow significantly, it could be 50x, right? If they have just grown this fast to say $1 trillion profit, if they have grown really rapidly from say 100 billion to a trillion in profit, or from 10 billion a year profit to a trillion, they have just made 100x in profit. So the PE ratio could be far larger. Okay, so now this one I used ChatGPT for a financial analysis to create these figures, and I think it's beautiful. It just shows the potential. It's really insane. These sound like completely irrational numbers, but I mean, we can always be more on the left side. We can always like look at the more conservative predictions of those. This is just math, right? I mean, somewhere the math would have to be, we have to adjust it probably by an order of magnitude somehow to not be too bullish on the Tesla stock. So here I had this line, this $20 trillion line, where I have 4 different scenarios. In the first scenario, we have a PE ratio of 20. In the fourth scenario, we have a PE ratio of 50. So let's assume the most conservative one, the PE ratio of 20. Now, if we sell 100 million units, we are like on the left of this x-axis. On the x-axis, we have the number of bots sold in millions. So we have 100 million, and we increase it in steps of 100 million until we reach 1 billion units sold. And mind you, as I said in the beginning, if we have 10 billion bots, humanoid bots, then we would sell like 3 billion units, which is even 3 times that the biggest value we have shown here on the axis. So we might sell much more units actually in the not too distant future. So maybe 20 years, I don't know really. It's just to have any kind of intuition. But if it is like a product that is as popular as smartphones, we will probably easily sell 100 million units every year, right? So this would be then on the left of this chart. And then on the y-axis, we have the profit per bot in thousands. So we go from 5,000 to 15,000. And of course, as we go higher, the profit also increases. We go higher, this color bar, right? And here I have this first curve shows the $20 trillion market cap. So for instance, if we sell 100 million units at 10k profit, we are actually at Elon's price prediction. If we sell 200 million units at 5k profit per unit only, we would also be at the same $20 trillion market cap. And here you see, like, as we increase the number of bots, if you increase profit per bot, we would get a higher market cap, fixing the PE ratio here in this scenario. And the numbers are really kind of crazy. If you look at those numbers, like even numbers at the bottom of the scale is like $100 trillion market cap or something like this. So the company could be really huge. And I don't think it's unrealistic to assume that the number of bots sold in a year will be like say a billion, we will reach a billion. It will be similar to the smartphone market, right, where we went from 0 to billions of units sold per year. But then the market share of Tesla would be then probably, it could be like also like the smartphone market, right? The Apple maybe has, I don't even know, it's maybe 10 to 20% or so of the units sold is Apple. And Elon also assumed the same numbers. If you really have like a billion units sold in a given year and Tesla has a market share of 10, 20%, we might see 100, 200 million units sold by Tesla easily. And so this would be then, say, here on the left of this figure. Then the profit per bot, you could argue, okay, is 10K realistic? No, let's maybe assume 5K. So 5K would still mean we could accomplish the $20 trillion curve here. And if we would reach $20 trillion, the current market cap of Tesla is like 500 billion or so 0.5 trillion, which would mean a 40x in the stock compared to this price. In this only from the humanoid robotics industry. So the math is quite encouraging, right? This is just math. This is not a price prediction in any way or so. It's just getting a feel for the numbers, for the math. And we could even see like a 40 trillion or so market cap with this PE ratio 20 assumption, and assuming not too crazy numbers of units sold or profit per unit. So for instance, with 200 million or 250 million units sold in a given year, and say 8K profit per unit, because now we're selling more, right? So we make only 8K profit per unit. We could see like already a $40 trillion market cap at a PE ratio of 20. And this sounds completely unreasonable today, but I really think we will see an abundant future, and we get a glimpse of it already with the current developments in AI, and AI will really change the world significantly, and there's no limit to productive work we could do, right? We could send them to the desert and create healthy environments, or create like some kind of oasis or so, right, in the desert. Because if it's just a matter of work, right, we can channel water there, we can create production facilities, we can water the plants, we can nurture them, we can create food. It's all labor, right? And if you can scale up labor, there's no limit, because there's infinite energy in the universe, there's infinite matter in the universe. So it's like reducing entropy and by means of creating more and more robots in the world, right? So there's no practical limit. But even I mean, these scenarios are not even like the kind of bullish scenarios I am talking about now, right? Where we have, say, 10 bots or so per every person in the world, where we really create new kind of worlds out in the desert, or new cities in the desert or so, with with armies of humanoid bots. This scenario is kind of humanoid robots become as common as smartphones or so. So it's not like it will be disruptive, but it's not completely off scenario. So with these kind of valuations, of initial like napkin math valuations, we will see like a share price of currently 180, and we have seen like a 50x or 40 to 50x would mean $9,000 per share, and this would be based only on Elon prediction. To believe in this prediction, or actually now you would have to ask these final questions. Do you really believe in a world where humanoids are as successful and as ubiquitous as smartphones? If the answer is yes, then I mean, it might be interesting to look for some companies that are already doing it, right? Because we have now 8-9 companies or so that have started scaling up the production of humanoid robots. And it is happening. It is really happening. Humanoid robots are already here. They are already working. The tech is there. Everything converges towards them. It's like not assuming they will happen is like assuming smartphones also won't happen in the beginning, where people were excited about smartphones, where the first smartphones were already on the market, right? The iPhone already appeared. The units were still small. Like maybe they sold a few thousand maybe then scaled up to a few millions. And some people already argued, we will sell billions of smartphones, but they were the crazy ones, right? The misfits. But eventually they were proven right. And now we have billions of smartphones, and it has changed the world. So this would be the first question. If you answered with yes, you would have to ask the second question, because most of the other humanoid robot companies are actually private, so you cannot invest in them. The second question would be, do you believe Tesla will be a major player in the humanoid robots space? So personally, for me, I answer both of those questions with yes. I think it's very likely Tesla will be the major player in the humanoid robots industry. They have started the narrative basically with the Optimus bot, and they have also proven that they are one of the leaders in the robotics industry, if not the leader in the humanoid robotics industry. And they also have lots of production capabilities the other startups currently don't have. The other startups just create prototypes at this point. Tesla has shown they can scale up production of real-world robotics, which is like self-driving car as well. They can scale up production to millions of units. They already have proven this profitably. And all the other companies, startups, have not proven this yet. So Tesla is a likely major player in the industry, in my opinion. And if both of those questions are answered with yes, then I would say it's likely, right? Now it's a conditional probability. Now if those two questions are yes, if history actually will answer these two questions with yes, then Tesla will 40x as a result, just based on this kind of math, because we would see a PE ratio of 20, which is the only variable left, right? The other twos we have already assumed. Good. So this is not investment advice. Make up your own mind, but open your mind. Be open to alternative scenarios or alternative futures that might happen. If you want to be on the right side of change, then give me a like, subscribe to the video, check out the free Finxter newsletter. Just go to finxter.com, finxter.com. Subscribe with your email address. Join our courses. These are the paid courses, so everything is free, and this is how we keep the lights on. The Finxter Academy. The Finxter Academy is designed to teach you the skills necessary to tap into the power of AI in order to scale up your own value proposition in the world of tomorrow, to become in a way a cyborg who is able to command armies of digital intelligence and digital bots, so to say, in the digital space, by means of LangChain, Google's Vertex AI, OpenAI's API, fine-tuning large language models, building multi-agent teams and systems using LangGraph, and all the other beautiful tools that are available to us. So check out the Finxter Academy as well. You can just Google it, or you can type in academy.finxter.com, and join the courses. It's very affordable, but it has the power to transform your life. Thanks for being an active listener and watcher of the Finxter video. I really appreciate having you here. Again, I would appreciate you giving me a like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in future similar topics. And see you in the next video. Bye.